Kevin, I guess the obvious first question: why Wolves and the other clubs that were interested in you? What has made Molineux special for you?
The interest that the manager showed me right from the beginning of the summer. They went and had a bid accepted without ever even me knowing about it, and I was like straight away thinking they're keen, and it was a nice feeling, and came up here a couple of weeks ago and got shown around everything and told the history, and just had a great conversation with the manager, and it made it a lot easier for me, and I know from playing against Wolves the amount of fans they get and the noise they make and the atmosphere here, and it's just a club waiting to do well in the Premiership, I think, and I hope we can be part of that.
It really is important to any player to feel wanted by a manager, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah, and it was an easy conversation I had with him. Sometimes you can have awkward conversations and you're sitting there and a bit of silence, whatever, but we just rambled on for a couple of hours, and not just about football but everything, and sort of made my mind up that day, after coming up here and seeing the facilities as well. Great training ground, lovely stadium, so just put my mind at ease, and thought it'd be a great place to come.
I mean, you move it from the Majeski Stadium, fantastic stadium.
Yeah,
doesn't have the history that Molineux has got.
No, it doesn't. It's a great stadium, the Majeski, and really nice. But just coming here and seeing the statues outside, and it's just it is great history here, and hopefully we can sort of create a little bit of history, I don't know, in the next few years, and just try keep us doing up and doing well in the Premiership.
You've had a couple of years in the Premier League, you know what it's all about, and I guess you're itching to get back in there and prove that you can do it again at the highest level.
Yeah, definitely. Want to do as well as possible, play well, I want to enjoy it, and the same as all the players here. When I was at Reading, we first went up, not many players, none of us had ever played in the Premiership, and we were chomping at the bit and really excited about it, and that got us through the season, finishing in 8th place, I think. So it's a similar situation, I think, here at the moment, and we'll be hopefully able to do something similar.
You made the manager smile in the press conference by revealing that you'd read his book, Captain Fantastic, during the World Cup in Italia 1990. And you were only 8 or 9 at the time.
I was only 6 during 1990. I think he brought the book out a few years later, right. But he was captain of Ireland, and a big, for Ireland to get to a World Cup and do well, I think they got to quarterfinals and all. He was obviously a very famous man in Ireland, and it was funny. Made him smile anyway, and I was a massive fan of his and all the Irish players when they were in those competitions.
I mean, he's just said to us that he hopes that you earn the right to play in a World Cup finals yourself from what you achieve here at Wolves, and that's got to be a goal for you. Definitely, we're second in our group with Ireland, and that was another reason I had to move back to the Premiership. It's a World Cup year coming up, and the second in our group, looking like we'll definitely make a playoff position at least. It means we have a great chance of going to a World Cup next summer, and a good season here would make going to that World Cup all the sweeter. What would be a successful time for you during the 4-year contract you've signed here at Wolves?
As long as after 4 years I'm smiling and happy, and I've enjoyed my time here, well then I think it's a success.
Do you leave Reading with a bit of a heavy heart?
Yeah, definitely. Best 4 years of my life so far, I think. Unbelievable time for me, it's sad, very sad for me to leave, and it's the start of a new era. There's lots of players gone, the manager's gone, but they've got great people coming through and a great setup and system, and they'll be fine.
There are a lot of goals in this Wolves side, as you know, from playing them in the Championship last season. A lot of hot shots. Sylvain Ebanks-Blake, you must be really looking forward to teaming up with him, for example.
Yeah, him, Chris Arumu, Andy Keogh, Sam Vokes. There's plenty of strikers. And that's competition now. It's going to be good, and they need that. And they all did very well last year, so they'll be looking to do the same this year. And hope I can just get in there and get my chance and take it.
And finally, just one word about the fact that Wolves are going to play an exhibition match back at Wexford, the club where it all began for you in Ireland.
Delighted. That was something I wanted, and for my manager in Ireland, Mick, delighted for him, and it'll be a great occasion for them when we get to go there and play, and I look forward to it because I haven't played a game back in Wexford since I was 16, so it'd be nice for me to go back there and play as well.
That's brilliant. We wish you well during your time here.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Mick, I've rarely seen a manager so pleased, looking so happy at signing a player of Kevin Doyle's quality.
I think it's understandable, isn't it? We've been working long and hard all through the summer, from finishing to try and get players in, and I guess to some of our supporters, it looked like nothing was happening, but we've been working hard to do it, and to get Kevin in, I think he's a real coup for us. I'm delighted.
Tell us about the Kevin Doyle that you know and admire so much.
Well, the Kevin Doyle that I know, I've got to know him somewhat better since, but of course you do your homework and find out about him. I knew him through him playing with the Irish team. I knew of his character, but for me his character stood out playing on the pitch. He was great desire, puts his shift in, he's got good technical ability, and he's got goals in him. Wherever he's played, he's scored goals, whether that be for Reading in the Championship, the Premiership, or at international level, and of course I've watched him at international level as well quite a bit.
And how much does that Premier League experience count for you? The fact that he's been there, he knows what it's about, and he knows what to expect next season.
That's huge, really, in our decision. It's huge in our decision. Our decision is because I know him as a player, and we've got lads in the Irish team. I know him as a character without even meeting him. Before I met him, you get an opinion of somebody, and it's that opinion's only been enhanced by sitting down and speaking to him. But his Premier League experience is of huge value to us, because getting a player from, I think perhaps people look at it and think we signed a Championship player, and that was virtue of Reading getting relegated, and that happens. But he was a huge success in the Premier League, and delighted to get him.
The Chief Executive spoke about the chemistry between yourself and Kevin. What does he mean by that? Just thinking along the same lines about how the game should be played? Is that chemistry?
Of course, yeah, and meeting somebody. You know, Kevin spoke about it. We met at the training ground, and we sat in my office for, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe an hour, nearly 2 hours, chatting away. And there was no forced conversation. You know, how are you? You know, have you got a wife? Are you married? Have you got kids? Where do you live? It wasn't one of those conversations. It was just a good hour or two chatting about football and chatting about life, and I enjoyed that conversation. I think Kevin must have done, because he's come back and signed for me and for Wolves.
The Wolves fans are going to be very excited by this, I guess.
I think so, yeah. When the suggestion had been mooted before, I'd had one or two people asking me, you know, and of course I can't give too much away, but it was nice that when the suggestion had been made, the fans seem to respond well to that, and you know that's important. He wants to get a good response, and he will. And you know what, he fits into where we've played. He's still young, still hungry, got a great desire to be back in the Premiership, and he'll fit in with us the way we play.
Finally, when he was a young kid growing up, 8 or 9 years old, he said he read your autobiography, Captain Fantastic, the autobiography of the captain of the Republic of Ireland team. Does that make you feel old, humbled, delighted? What?
A bit of all of that, really. I guess it's nice that he read it, and you know, I'm sure that he said it himself. All the players of that 1990 team were like heroes to the young kids in Ireland growing up, and remain so. To be fair, we get a great welcome when we go back, whoever it might be. He didn't have to say it was all that time ago. I think he just. I think it just shows. It's when I'm talking to people, they sometimes ask me, how do you treat the players? Do you treat them like kids? I said, well, I've got kids older than them, so maybe I do treat them like that at times. But I'm thrilled that we've got him, and maybe he can have his own autobiography out before long, and we can all read his. I hope he gets a chance to get to a World Cup. They're having a good chance with Trapattoni. He might get there. It'd be fantastic for him if he's a Wolves player for us as well.
Well done. I hope it's a huge success.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.